the first cohort of From Writers to Authors, and we're going to be celebrating Jacqueline, who's online. She's not with us today. She's actually from the USA. We're also going to be celebrating Jennifer, Richie, Natalie, Veronica, and Damani. All these beautiful people. So first up, before we go into anything, also, let me not forget to mention the person who put this together, Ebony Ali. She's the founder of From Writers to Author, and because of her, we are all here today. But first, we're going to go straight to Jacqueline, she's from the USA. She was also on the course of From Writers to Authors. She's a songwriter. Sorry. We were supposed to have a song, but unfortunately we're not going to have the song today. So I'm going to go straight to Jacqueline. She loves Jesus. She's a mother of one. She's a leader, a speaker, a communication strategist, and she was born and raised in Brooklyn, New York. She's going to tell you a bit about herself and let you know about her experience on the course of Writers to Authors.
Afternoon, London, and good morning, New York. My name is Jacqueline Shokumbi, and the real question is, how did I even get here? It is such an honor to be in the presence of each and every one of you, from our handsome gentlemen to our beautiful ladies. I consider it such a strange venture how I got here, and I'll quickly share with you. One day I was on social media and I happened to be engaging on a live, and within this live I had Prophet Timothy, NEPJ in the house. Shout out to you, we are plugged in. And he gave a word upon me, and he began to remind me and push me back into a gifting the Lord has called me for, which is writing. And as his prophecy went on, there happened to be a young woman gifted in the field of writing, listening. And you can just guess who that young woman was, and that was Ebony. Right after that live ended, it happened to be that Ebony reached out to me. And we went from chatting to her now introducing me to this course, which is Writers to Authors. And within a span of just a couple of days, I registered to be in this course. Now, the strange thing behind that is I live in New York City, and one thing that each and every one of you can confirm or even make mention of highlights within New York City, besides the apple, besides the pigeon, besides the bridge, besides the loudness, is this one line: New York City, best time seller. And if New York City is known for that, I'm pretty sure there has to be several courses out there for a young woman like me to take. But it ended up being that I took a course here, right in London. And that is exciting. That as much as you all sitting here today might think everything is within that outside world, outside London, there are nations, as myself, that are entering into London in order to be connected, in order to occupy. And London has just been amazing to me. There's so much more in that story. And one of the highlights for me within that meeting ground with Ebony is how warm she was. The fact that she reached out to me, the fact that she made sure she just went through how the steps would go. It was amazing, very amazing. And today, I am here to just share briefly with you of my transitioning from a writer to an author. I believe we can all agree that each and every one of us, even the ones that have not been a part of this cohort, we're all gifted in different things. It can go from instruments, it can go from writing, it can go from speaking, it can go from you knowing just the skills of AI and so much more, even cooking. We are all gifted in different ways, but I think this course reminded me that although we may be gifted, can your gift end up being a gift to people? And although I had the gifting and just the natural ability to write, I had to realize that, oh wait, for me to stand as a person that now my gift can be a gift to others, I have to publish it out. And I'll talk a little bit about that topic that we went over within this cohort with Ebony. And I believe that was one of my favorites. And the reason why that was my favorite is that I began to realize that, wait, so now that this book is completed and everything is written down, and even me taking it to the editor, and that's a part of the publishing as well, there's so much more included in that. And this cohort taught me the steps I need to take with now putting my book on Amazon, with now publishing my book as an hardcover, softcover, even as an audible book, within the word count within my book. These are details that were quite foreign to me, and I think I was just free lining it with my writing. There was no boundaries, there were no principles, there were no rules I set. I just freely did it. But I came to the knowledge, in order for my gift to be shared amongst different nations and different cultures, I have to put certain standards in line, and this course has taught me so much about that. It has taught me that even after the writing, there is some steps that you must take in pushing it out. You see, it's one thing to now carry the baby. It's another thing to be in the room and be pushing it out, because from the editing one, getting that edited, finding the right editor, we even went over that. And one thing I just loved about this group is that everybody asked the questions the next person was thinking about. So shout out to Cohort 1, because I'm not being biased, but I think this is gonna be the best cohort ever. But yeah, they were phenomenal. And Ebony was always willing to stop, to pause, just to answer our questions. And today I'm gonna share a little bit about the book that is going to be released within October. So, moving forward, I know all of you might be wondering, why is there 2 chairs here? Well, today I have a special guest for you. And apparently he has another meeting to go to where a bunch of children are waiting for him in the lunchroom. But he's squeezing some extra little time just for us. Now, I would like to welcome no other than my son. Come, sit, take a seat. Yeah. And hello, what is your name?
Zion.
Okay, and what is your last name?
B.
Hi, Zion. So today we have no other than Zion. And Zion is going to do a really big thing today. He's actually going to reveal the title of the book. So we're going to do something very interesting. Zion, are you ready? Are you ready? I think Zion's ready. Okay, let me grab the instruments. So we have a paper and we have some markers. Zion, what's your favorite color? What's your favorite color? Oh, is it red? Okay. So I'm gonna whisper to Zion and remind him of what he's writing down, and he's gonna write it for us. And as he's writing it, I'm gonna speak a little bit too. All right, so as Zion is revealing the title, I would just like to say to you guys that there was actually a time when Zion couldn't write at all. 1, 2, ready? 1, 2, 3. Zion the Lion. Yes, we have Zion the Lion as our title, and we are excited. Zion. 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 Yes, you heard it here. My book title is called Zion the Lion. And this will be a children's book, just created for children even at the age of 7 to 8 to even be able to read in their reading level. This book is so much more than a children's book, but it's a beacon of hope. It's a releasing of joy, even a little bit tears of joy. But this book and just the inspiration of this book started with no other than Zion. At the age of 2, I had my son in this center he would go to from time to time. And within this center, they just caught certain things, certain notions that they would call Zion, he wouldn't quite respond. And they alerted me to this. And within New York City, they have such a thing called early intervention. And within early intervention, the child isn't diagnosed with anything, but within early intervention, they do a thing where they observe the child and they allow the child to get just the resources that they need in any area before the diagnosis. When Zion was about 5, he was diagnosed with autism. And my years of being with Zion has been a mix of emotions, from the place of beginning of shame to the place of being humbled and to the place of not knowing what exactly to do, to now taking in so much knowledge, without now increasing in the field of patience. I've been in rooms with Zion and rooms with specialists, speech specialists, that have told me that they don't think Zion would talk. And just a few months later, he talked. Autism is a spectrum. And within this spectrum, there's different minds that think differently and put things together differently. It doesn't make them not human. It just makes them really blessed. It makes them so unique and so gifted in the skill sets they carry that others don't carry at all. And I am writing this book to highlight the joys behind autism. I'm writing this book to bring awareness that although your child may be diagnosed with autism, that isn't your child's name. See, every parent out there, that regardless if you have those hard days where you feel like you're not capable, where you feel like things are not going to change, where you have people around you comparing your child to another child, count it all joy. Count it all joy. My son used to say this one line, and he would say, "Mommy, don't worry." And that was one of his first words he actually vocally said. He would say, "Don't worry, don't worry." I think Zion the Lion sends a message to every home that has an awareness of autism that don't worry. Don't worry. Do the things you have to do. Get the help your child needs. Stand in your place of prayer, but don't you ever worry. And count it all joy. Because truly within your child, there is a lion that is waiting to roar. There is an evidence that wants to be shown. And that's what Zion the Lion is about. And I'm dedicating this to every mother, to every father, to every child that just thinks a bit differently. That you are loved, you are accepted, and you are mighty. And there is a raw inside of you. I'm extremely grateful that I was able to be a part of this cohort, this first cohort, and it's been my extreme pleasure to be in the midst of an amazing coach that she inspires me to push and to become, to set goals, and just to be upon amazing authors. And so I'll leave you with this. Thank you for coming out today. Thank you, Ebony, for standing with each and every one of us. And today, I'm no longer a writer, but I'm an author.
Amazing. That was Jacqueline from Brooklyn. What an amazing testimony. And we can see just how much this course has blessed her life and allowed her to just become the author that she's always desired to be. Next up, we have someone a lot closer to home, Veronica. She's going to tell you a little bit about her book. Veronica, I thought someone said something. Veronica lives in North London with her beautiful family. She works in a school in Enfield. She enjoys writing and poetry, and she spends a lot of time with her family, and she's also an active member in her church. Let's give it up for Veronica.
Hi everyone. Well, as I've been introduced, my name is Veronica. I tend to write things down, as you know, as Limited just introduced me. I love putting pen to paper, and when I put pen to paper, I have to hold it in my hand, otherwise I will forget things. So please bear with me, and if I feel nervous, please just bear with me. So I'm going to introduce myself. My name is Veronica, and I live in North London with my hubby and my 2 children. As long as I can remember, I have just loved to write, and to more to the point, write poetry, where I am able to express my expressions. So it is a no-brainer when I was led to write and publish the work I have written on my poems. This covers an array of topics such as love, relationship, faith, and the list goes on. I joined the course not by accident, nor by coincidence, or even by chance, as when God is in it, He's always purpose-led and in His time. Over Christmas, my good friend Andrea introduced me to a writing course which she was going to join, and she asked if I was interested in joining. She gave me the information more than 3 times, and the week I was going to pay for the course, my phone broke and I had lost all contacts, so I wasn't able to join the course. It was too late. So what I did, I know by God's grace and by His mercy and favour, I went on to Eventbrite for whatever reason, but I know now what the reason was. So I went on to Eventbrite and I typed in writer's course, and Ebony's writer's event page came up. I had a free 15-minute consultation with her, and after our call, I knew I was ready to join, but not knowing what to expect. But all I knew and all I know is that God's expectations are greater. This experience has been invaluable, exceptional, and pertaining to my needs, and I truly believe that everyone on this panel, I feel, has been selectively picked out from many. I remember Ebony saying that she didn't want a big group and for it to be intimate, and that's how it's panned out. Ebony, as young as you are, she's very knowledgeable. She's very knowledgeable in her field and assisting in more ways above and beyond. She's able to guide, she's able to teach, she's able to share, she's able to provide, and to assist with the wealth of knowledge she has obtained through her experience, and was able to utilize this and direct us throughout the course. Ebony, I thank you. So at this time, I'm going to just showcase a bit what I've written whilst I've been on this course. It's been a journey for each and every one of us, I believe, and as I said, God deals with things so differently, and it's never our will, but it's God's will. So one of the poems that I'm going to share with you from the book, which I'm hoping and praying that it comes out and be published in September, or if not before December 2025. So this is for the ladies on the panel, and including you, Ebony. My hand's shaking, so please again bear with me. So this is called Ordinary People on a Mission to Thrive. So we are ordinary people that came from different backgrounds, not knowing what to expect, but just knowing we all had our personal journeys that needed to be written in text. Our aspirations and goals had come to light in dreams. At the beginning of the opening of this year is where this ignited that steam. The calling we all heard was louder than before, and the obedience this time we ran with and ready to explore. Our gifts and talents that are God purpose led allowed our fair of movement to be challenged, rolling full steam ahead. This time we were comfortable being uncomfortable, for in Jeremiah 29:11, He had our plan set. He already knew our calling and ordained our very steps. We just had to listen intently so His glory could be met. We never held back from the stumbling blocks that was abreast, but held on to His truth and His word as we became stewards for the test. With determination, discipline, and dedication, our task is nearly complete, as this new chapter begins to unfold its wings and allowing our findings to conquer defeat. For we are ordinary people, graduating to new levels on a mission to thrive, as become writers to authors, Cohort 1 of 2025.
As you can see, another person blessed by in the first cohort of writers to authors. Next, we have got Richie. Richie was Congolese born. She's a filmmaker, author, and a newbie at being an internship in the UK. She'll tell you a little bit more about that. She's a founder of a new production company called Phoenix, and a final year film student, and also soon to be law graduate. She's got a lot going on there. Let's give it up for Richie.
Hello everyone. Thank you for being here, and Ebony, thank you so much for this opportunity. Honestly, I always say to you, and I'm going to say in front of others as well, I would not be the woman I am today if I hadn't met this lovely lady. Sorry, I'm a bit nervous. Bear with me. Thank you. She's the reason why I'm here. She's the reason why I'm standing here. She's the reason why I am now believing in myself. And I just want to say thank you. Right, as Lemon introduced me, so I'm Richie Malinga. I'm Congolese born. Grew up in the UK. I'm a mom of 2 children, and soon to graduate from a film production from a film university. At the same time, pursuing to become a practicing barrister. The reason why I'm gonna say, before I joined this program, I've known Ebony. We worked together. We did business together. We traveled together, and it was not until the COVID period that I read The Beauty of Ashes, and I was going through a very hard time, very personal hard time, and I didn't believe at that time that I could be here or that I could do something. When I read her book, and I thought, you know what, I've always wanted to write. Writing has always been part of my life, and I said, you know what, I'm gonna write a book. But when you don't believe in yourself that much, you keep pushing things forward and saying, not now, later, not now, later. It was not until last year I was speaking to my pastor, and he said, I've got someone here who wants to speak to you. I said, okay, that's fine, not a problem at all. So he spoke to me and said, are you pregnant? And I said, oh, well, hell no, I'm not pregnant. He said, no, that's not what I mean. You're pregnant with something that you want to publish. I said, what do you mean by that? He said, a book. I kept quiet. I said, well, I've always wanted to write a book. And I said, why are you not writing? I said, because I don't know how to write a book. He says, well, God has given you everything, so what is it that you don't believe in yourself? This is when I thought about everything. Many times, and I used to be a big procrastinator, many times I would contact her and say, can I get a call with you? And she would say, yeah, you can do that, but I kept procrastinating. And then, beginning this year, I believe, Ebony, right? She then spoke to me about this program, and I thought, you know what, this is it. I'm not gonna procrastinate anymore. So I joined the program. It was really difficult because financially, I was not there. Again, she's been so lovely, and she was so patient with me, and then I was able to join the course. What I've found valuable about this course is the person that I am now. I've been able to grow in me writing a book, to becoming confident, and to also believe that, you know, when you write things on paper, it's just not about calling yourself an author. It's about uplifting others. It's about helping others through words. As we all know, the Bible says that, you know, everything that we say is powerful. My book, titled The Art of Connection, Mastering Healthy Communication in Every Type of Relationship, whether it is in a romantic relationship, at the workplace, between family and friends, is about growing, personal development. It's about being resilient. It's about being determined. It's about being understanding of each other. I do believe with technology, and I do believe with social media, we have tend to lose this type of human connection when it comes to communication. occasions. Easy today to cyberbully someone. It's easy today to talk about someone on first appearance without knowing the person. So this is what my book is all about. I'm writing it right now, so it's not out yet, and I'm hoping to publish it in October this year, so God willing, before the end of this year. What else can I say? You should just bear with me, please. Right, so I think this is the end of it. I just want to leave with this. Whoever you are and whatever you are and whatever you believe in, I just want you to remove perfectionism from your work, because it will kill your ambition. And I'm saying it out of my own experience, because I'm a perfectionist. I want to do things right, especially from where I grew up. My Congolese parents, they're very strict on me, and that kind of killed my my way of seeing things in life. So I would just leave and say, believe in yourself, do what's right for you. And Ebony, thank you. This book is just not about what the audience is going to see and read. It's also about me as a mother of 2 daughters, showing to my daughters that it is possible. It doesn't matter where you are right now. What matters where you're going. So I want to thank you all. Thank you to these lovely ladies, and God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you. That was a lovely testimony also. Next up, we have another writer who was part of Cohort 1 of From Writers to Authors, and that is Amani. She is a singer, a songwriter, and her songs range from gospel music, gospel pop, to R&B, to Afro pop. She owns a graphic design business, so if you need any graphic design doing, reach out to Amani. And also, she did that as well, amazing. And also, her side hustle is a communications officer. Please welcome up Amani.
Hey everyone, it is awesome to be here. And I just want to say, obviously, thank you to Ebony for believing in me so that I could be here. So I just want to talk about a bit more about the journey, because if you'd have asked me like a couple years ago, am I going to be writing a book? I would have been like, what? Like, what do you mean write a book? And so I've always kind of had this inkling in my spirit that, okay, I want to write, but it wasn't until God actually said, I need you to write a book. And that's when I was like, okay. But you know, similar to what Richie was saying, you know, I procrastinated, and I had to pray. I really had to pray for confirmation to say, is this what you want me to do? And I got my confirmation, and I actually had a dream, and I don't know if Ebony remembers this. I had a dream, and I was at a writing workshop, and Ebony was like there, and she was teaching me, and I was learning how to write, and I was like, okay, I can't ignore this anymore. Let me just join the course. And so when I joined the course, the journey to getting the title was also interesting, because I didn't actually know what I was going to write. I was just praying. I was like, okay, what do you want me to write about, God? And he said, your book is going to be called Purpose to Passion. And I was like, Purpose to Passion? Why couldn't you give me something easier, like, you know, how to create a TikTok page in 10 minutes, or something that I know, right? And he said Purpose to Passion, right? And as I began to write the book, it became more and more clear to me what he wanted me to write about. And I began to understand that Purpose to Passion is about why we're here, why it's important to know why you're here, and how your passion is linked to your purpose, and how to walk in that. Why is it important, you know? Because we're not all just here to eat, work, sleep, eat jollof, you know, enjoy. We're here to, you know, create a mark on this world, whether that's something small, whether that's something big. So Purpose to Passion really kind of explores the importance of knowing that, the importance of walking in that. And yeah, it's been an interesting journey, because there's been times where people talk about writer's block, but I have got writer's procrastination many times, okay, and I admit that. But what this course has done is it's taken a seed and it's given me a blueprint. because you can say you're a writer, but writing is more than just going and writing stuff on paper. It's actually, you know, knowing the process of how you're going to be publishing. It's the ins, the outs, the logistics. And so if I could encourage anyone here, it's about, if you ever have imposter syndrome where you're like, I don't think I can do this because this is not really something I'm supposed to do. Look within yourself and say, hey, God said he doesn't have respect of persons. He doesn't have respect of persons. So whether or not he's told you to write a book or to sing or to sign up as an actor or whatever it is, he's put you there for a reason. And that's why we're all here. We're here to fulfill a greater purpose. So this course has really taught me to go for what I am, to walk in the purpose that I'm writing about. And yeah, guys, it's just been amazing. And all I can do is encourage you, because what you're not going to get in a normal course, you can go on Google, you can Google how to write a book, but what you're not going to get is someone that's there to answer your questions and that sort of viable thing that you're not going to get. And that's what I've been able to get on this course. And yeah, the ladies have been amazing. I've had so much encouragement, even from Jennifer and, you know, all the people around me. And yeah, all I can say is do what you're called to do. Do what you feel you're called to do. Do what you feel you're led to do. Do it. In Jesus' name. Amen.
So many of us suffer from imposter syndrome. So yeah, we can relate to that. Thank you so much. Next up, we have our fourth writer, Natalie. Natalie is a mother of 8, and she's an adult. You see, I knew I was good. Last time I said she had 8 grandchildren, and she doesn't, right? She has one daughter who is 8 years old, right? Sorry about that, Natalie. Maybe it's a prophecy. Right, anyway, yes, so she is a mother of a daughter who's 8 years old. She doesn't have 8 children. She doesn't have grandchildren either. But yeah, she's an alumni manager at a charity, and also she does have 8 godchildren. And so she had those 8 godchildren before you had your daughter, right? Yeah. And so she's very good at doing a Donald Duck impression. Please welcome up Natalie to the stage.
Hi everyone. I'm so nervous, but okay. My book that I'm writing is called A Mother's Love, and it's about my love for my baby, my mother's love for me, and my ex-mother-in-law's love for her son. And how it came about is when I was filing for divorce years ago. In the application, you had to put what the reasons were for divorce, and it had to be what had happened for 6 months before we separated. And at the time, I couldn't think what was going on. I was just like in a tiz, and I looked in my notes that I had like made during the times in my marriage where I thought that maybe, you know, if we go to counselling, I'd be able to say, oh, this is what's happened, and etc., etc. So when I did that, I couldn't actually remember what had happened, but when I looked at the notes, I was able to do it, and to make sense of it, I typed out everything that had occurred in that 6 months. And when I was doing it, it was just like, my gosh, this is like a story. But I was able to do it like that. So then, after that, like throughout the years, like people would say to me, you know, oh, what happened? You've got a young baby, etc., etc. And I would always say, oh yeah, I've got 3 books to write. It's a sad story, but I've got 3 books to write, and I know all the titles. So the book that I would do would be the second book, but it would be the first book, and reading that first book, then you'd have to go back to see what happened from the beginning. because of my separation, for so many years, I felt ashamed, I felt embarrassed, humiliated, just less than, not worthy, just a failure really. And I actually felt like my life was not worth living. And not that I wanted to take my life, I never ever thought about that, but I just felt that I had no purpose, I had no hope for me and my daughter's future. And I experienced things that, you know, I've had to a ripe old age, and all of these things had never happened to be, you know, anxiety, depression, you know, not diagnosed, but yeah, that's what I was. I had many fears, many worries, but at the same time, I was delighting in my baby, her development, her milestones. I relished like in her every moment. And I was so intentional in making happy memories together and capturing it all on camera. As people that know me know that I take too many photos. My phone gets locked up. Yeah, so I was doing all that, but at the same time I was like deeply sad, in pain, broken. You know, I didn't want a baby, I wanted a family. And, you know, for my child to have a happy home with her mother and father, loving on each other, you know, caring for her, and knowing that they absolutely adored her. She's what she is, and you know, during those years, she was my joy, she's my heartbeat, she's my precious, precious gift from God. But I was on my own, and it was, you know, bittersweet, really. Well, I say bittersweet, it was, bitter's not the word, that's an understatement. It was my worst nightmare. Because, you know, from a young age, my mum had told me, you know, because she was a teen mum, and she told me that, you know, how much she loved me, my sister, etc. But she always said, live your life first before you have children. And that's what I did. I lived my life, I enjoyed life, I had a wonderful life. And I remember at my mum's 50th birthday, I made a speech, and I said, you know, I can't believe that she was that young age when she had me, because of how she brought us up. And from at that time I was a social worker, and so I obviously have been around children and families. I've seen young mums and what happens. So I couldn't believe, you know, looking back, that she was so young when she was bringing up me and my sister. So it was now, yeah, so that's what I did. So that's what I did. I waited, and you know, I waited patiently for that special person that I could give my heart to. And I did all that, and I changed my life, etc. But unfortunately, you know, when I left, I questioned, you know, had I been used? Was I abused? Yeah, I asked all those questions. But during all of that time, I lost me, and I lost the person I used to be. And I've often been thinking, you know, how did I get here? Why did I get here? Why did this have to happen to me? And I blamed myself for choosing that person. Then I blamed myself for leaving that person. And then, you know, I was just so full of regrets, and, you know, but at that time, I look, and God has been there throughout. For all that time, He has been there. And, you know, one of my favourite poems is, some of you may know it, is Footprints in the Sand. And, you know, at the end of it, where it says, you know, my precious child, I love you and I'll never leave you. During your times of trial and suffering, when you see only one set of footprints, it was then I carried you. And it's so true. He really has been there for me, with us. And throughout His life, giving us so many blessings, so many blessings. My family, my friends, new people that have been placed in my life. And, in 2021, a friend of mine, and she was actually the person that sang at our wedding, she had a challenge on Facebook, and it was called Write Your Story, and the write was R-I-G-H-T, Write Your Story, and it was all about your life, etc. So that was, you know, at the time when I was doing it, I remember going, I looked up Tyler Perry. I was like, actually, my story's like a Tyler Perry movie. I looked up the studio. And so then that was like, I just thought, okay, I do want to write a book, because then I had so much that I'd already written, but I wanted to write a book just for a record for myself, for my daughter when she's an adult, you know, for her to know she was made out of love, and, you know, I wanted the very best for her, and also for family and friends who just couldn't understand why at 6 months, when my daughter was 6 months old, I'd leave my husband and my home of like 20 plus years. And when I was on that challenge, one of the signs that she had put up, it was a quote from someone, and it says, everybody has a story, and when we deny our stories, they define us. When we own our stories, we get to write a brave new ending. That was by someone called Green Brown. So I'd ask God, sorry, my mouth is so dry, can I just get a chat with you, please? I've got 10 minutes last, 10 minutes dry. Oh, sorry. So I asked God so many times, like, please just show me a sign, is this what you want me to do? And then I would get signs, and then I would still be saying, is this what you want me to do? This is like, no, it's not going to happen. So, yeah. And so even last week when we had our online rehearsal, I couldn't share what I was going to do. I wanted to show the book cover and write and read an excerpt of the book. But I was so scared, you know, to expose myself. I was overwhelmed, and not just about sharing with our cohort, because, you know, they're beautiful, but just about doing it at all. But they were all so encouraging, full of love, that, you know, this is what this group has been about. It's just such a community that we've built up, and it's just amazing. So how I found out about this course, it was a friend of mine who, over the years, like, I've seen him where I live and stuff, you know, and he'll stop you and he'll say, oh, sister, what's going on today? And you know, I might tell him what's going on. And he would just like be, you know, on the high road in the street, and he'd go, oh, let me pray for you. He'd just be praying there for you. And when he prays me, he knows what's going on. He'll just like think it. I remember when I was going through my divorce, he was like, you know, depression, anxiety, and he was just on the main road. And even like a couple of months ago, he was in Lidl and he was praying for me. And you know, customers are all around us, and we're standing there in the middle of Lidl and he's praying. You know what I'm talking about, don't you? So he sent this message in the group from Ebony about the introductory workshop, and that was like on a Thursday, and the next Saturday I attended the workshop and signed up, and you know, I didn't have the money, but God made a way, and Ebony is so good, so good. I love Ebony so much, and being on the course, like, it never crossed my mind about that you could publish your own book. I always thought that you have to do a book, type it all up, you know, and send it out, and whether people would want to read it, and then they'd find an editor, and it would be that way. It's just like blown my mind with all the things that we've learned and the steps and everything that she's taken us through. And last year, like, I've got a milestone birthday coming up soon, and last year on my social media, I put happy birthday to me. This is my year of complete healing, restoration, and joy. Nats is coming back, and I put Jeremiah 29:11, which is one of my favourite scriptures. And for those of you that don't know what that scripture is, it's for I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you hope and a future. And that when I had my birthday, my friend, one of my best friends who's sitting there, I see she was speaking about the post, and she, banging the table, and she's like, yes, we missed you. We missed you. And another friend made up a song about it as well. So, this year it still has been ups and downs, etc. Bad times, joyful times, but so many monumental times. And last September I started a job after 8 years of being out of work, and it's just it was a year's contract, but just like a few days ago now they've told me that it's going to be a permanent contract. On the same day when that happened, I got a package delivered for my daughter from a dear friend who I haven't seen for a year and a half, and she lives with her husband and kids out of London. And she put a card in there, and she doesn't know that I'm doing this course, she doesn't know anything about this. And then in the card it said, on the front of the card it says, even when she didn't feel like shining, she made the universe a brighter place. And inside there was a nice message about, having challenging things and just to stay strong and remember all your fabulous achievements and that they're there for us. And I'm not sure if I heard it before or when I saw it, but it says broken crayon and still colour. And it's taken me a long time to get here, but I really do believe that now. Broken crayons do still colour, and they can make a difference. I'm hoping that I will publish my book. I'm not as confident as everybody else, by my birthday next year. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, thank you. That was such a touching testimony. And all these ladies up here, they all have a story to tell, hence why they're here today. And I'm sure some of you also have stories to tell. And hopefully we'll get to hear that one day. Last but not least, we have up Jennifer. Jennifer has worked as a nursery nurse for 30 years, and her friends were the ones to start up the first Saturday school in Hackney. Let's give it up to Jennifer.
Hello everyone, I am the famous Jennifer Cohort. I wasn't too much problem to Eddie, I hope. I said I wasn't too much problem to you, was I? No. My name is Jennifer Jordan, and I'm so pleased to be here today. I'm also a mother, a sister, a friend, a very good friend, and also a church member. And I do everything with this mindset of God in my mind. What would God want me to do here? Why am I here? So I came from a background in counseling where I help people through emotional struggles. I also worked with children affected by domestic violence, supporting them through informative care, helping them feel safe, heard, and understood. Writing has been a part of me from when I was small. I used to write short stories, and then I filled notebooks after notebooks. But honestly, I never thought I'd actually publish anything. That changed when my sister gave me a leaflet about a program called Writing to Author. The system that we're talking about, Ruthless Sound. She didn't expect that. And I made a call to Emily, Alan, and after just one conversation, I signed up. From the very first session, Emily made things felt possible. She broke it down and made it simple, even exciting. I always thought publishing a book required a lot of money or connection, but Ebony showed us that we have a story worth telling, and that with the right steps we can make it happen. We learned so much in the course. We talked about what should be inside a book, how to structure it, how to create a content page, how to write in a way that flows. And also we learned on that course, because when I wrote my story, I wrote it during COVID, and COVID-19, my niece said, try and say that right. Yeah, COVID-19. And I was sort of in the middle, but by the time we had that first lesson, I said, you're nowhere in the middle, go back to the beginning. Because I found that you need to describe the characters. You're not writing the book for yourself. You need to write the book to grab somebody's interest so that you can continue to read it. And I thought, I haven't described the characters, how people are going to just understand it. So I went and did that, and we also learned from Ebony. We can learn about book covers, how to design, the title, even the color of your books can affect whether a reader will pick it up. Colors have meaning, and now I understand how important they are in storytelling. Emily also spoke to us about editing, how editors help to refine your book, check the flow, make sure everything fits. Some even offer full package including proofreading and layout. We discussed social media, networking, and how to prepare for a proper book launch. We shared ideas, asked questions, and sometimes a deep discussion that helped us as growing writers. And now, thanks to Ebony's support, we've been given the privilege of standing on this platform and sharing our journey. We all have been on this journey with Ebony since we started this course. It's not been just us on learning. We've been learning with Ebony and seeing her doors opening and seeing what God has in store. And I think majority of us, because I know I did, I was praying. I even went on a 40-day fasting, and I was praying, and I could see that the Lord was blessing all of us. I didn't know at the time that all of us was Christian, but I found out, but thank God, and I know the reason why I'm here, because He's asked me to help when I can, and to share when I can, and that's what I've done on this course. And I'm thanking God for what the things that He has done for us. Thanks to Ebony and her vision, we've also been given the incredible privilege of standing on a platform, a space where new voices are nourished, nurtured, where stories are shared, where writers like me are empowered to speak with confidence. This isn't just about writing a book, it's about being seen, being heard, and knowing that our story matters. Now let me tell you a bit about my book. My book is about a little girl called Sky, and she's very young, and it's a girl called Sky, and everything is seen through her eyes, her unique, sensible way of understanding the world. One day she hears her mother talking to a neighbor about a strange bug. Then she gets part of a serious conversation between her brother and father. These little moments start to build up to something big, COVID-19, a global event that changes everything. But the story doesn't stop there. One night, something unexpected happens, and from that point on, Sky family begins a journey that transformed not only their lives, but their way of seeing the world. The story explores her resilience, family love, and how children perceive things different when the world around them is shifting. My book is not finished yet, but I am further than I imagined. And when I do finish it, I'll be proud to call myself an author. Thank you, Ebony, for all your guidance and teaching us and encouraging us in every step of the way. Thank you for believing in our voice. And lastly, if anyone wants to contact with me or be updated with it when the book is released, feel free to come and see me afterwards.
Thank you, Jennifer. Thank you so much. So we've heard from all the writers here today, and they've showed us just how much this course has blessed them and how much they've grown and their journeys. And I just want you to give them a round of applause. Next up, we have a blessing. We have a song, and it's by a lady called Rose. And it's called This Is Me. Rose is a singer, a songwriter, and a worship leader. She's an up-and-coming artist, and she has a passion to share the good news through music. She not only does she evangelize, but she also has a heart for the healing ministry. When she's not singing, she's spending time with her family. Let's welcome up Rose.
This song is basically about people that felt rejected. So in the film, basically there was a man that put on a show, and he put on a show for all these different people that the world didn't want to use. And they basically came together to showcase their gift. So the reason for me wanting to sing this song today is basically that everybody's got a story. So everybody's got a story that they want to tell. And whether that's rejection that they've been through, whether that's any pain that they've been through in their life, basically our voices need to be heard. So that's the point of me sharing this song. So I just hope that it blesses someone.
While we're waiting, why don't you tell us how you became a musician and what inspired you to sing?
Yeah, so I just felt that it was just basically a nudge that I got from the Lord. So I really just felt like it was the beginning of last year that I just felt out of nowhere that I should just get into music. And I've always liked singing, like I've always just been very musical since I was young. But it was just this nudge that I basically got that I just felt like it was just something that I just had to do. And that's when I just gradually just got into doing music, like through like choirs and different things, and then just by doing like music lessons and stuff, and then yeah, that's how basically just hopefully I'll just be used for God's glory, whatever capacity that may be. So yeah.
Hi everyone, how's everyone feeling at the moment? Yeah, good. Yeah, thank you all for coming to support your family and friends. It really, I'm sure it means a lot to them. And we're just waiting for someone to put on the instrumental, but I just thought I'd take the opportunity just to speak.
I'm good. I just wanted to introduce Ebony. Because I just felt that, we wanted to know who you are and stuff. But did you want me to introduce you a bit later, or?
Yeah, she can do the proper introduction later. As you know, I'm Ebony. So yeah, I created the course. I just want to take the opportunity to speak. Like, I'm so impressed by all the writers today. Like, they really ouch. I don't even know what to say. If you know how nervous they were, and to see them, you know what I mean, speak so confidently, it's just, it's a huge blessing. It's a huge, huge blessing. But yeah, I'm going to pass it over to Rose now.
stranger to the dark. Hide away, they say we don't want your broken parts. Learn to be ashamed of all my scars. Run away, they say no one will love you as you are. Won't let them break me down to dust. I know that there's a place for us, for we are glorious. When the sharpest words wanna cut me down, gonna send the flood, gonna drown the mind. I am brave, I am bruised, I am who I'm meant to be. This is me. Look out, here I come. And I'm marching on to the beat I drum. I'm not scared to be seen. I make no apologies. This is me. I won't let the shakes get in. We are bursting through the barricades, reaching for the sun. Yeah, that's where we begin. Won't let them bring me down. I know that there's a place for us, for we are glorious. When the sharpest words wanna come me down, gonna send the blood, gonna drown them out. I am brave, I am bruised, I am who I'm meant to be. This is me. Look out, 'cause here I come. And I'm marching on to the beat I drum. I'm not scared to be seen. I make no apologies. This is me. Oh, oh, oh. The sharpest words wanna cut me down. Gonna send the flood, gonna drown them out. I am brave, I am bruised, I am who I'm meant to be. This is me. Look out, 'cause here I come. And I'm marching on to the beat I drum. I'm not scared to be seen. I make no apologies. This is me. Oh. This is me.
Right now I will introduce Ebony to you. Ebony, the founder of From Writers to Authors. She is an amazing person. She's an author of many books herself. She's a speaker and a coach. Ebony is an advocate for mental health and well-being and is passionate about empowering women and young people to prosper. Ebony has collaborated with many brands like WH Smith, where you can buy her books, by the way, and she credits it all to Jesus. Let's give a massive round of applause for Ebony.
Thank you very much. Amazing. You know what? I'm gonna need my slides. I'm not as polished as these people, so I actually need to look at slides. But yeah, thank you so much for the space. Yeah, this has been so amazing. I am just like overwhelmed. I think, yeah, I'm just in awe of God. So yeah, I just want to thank God because this is all God's work, God's doing for this time. But yeah, that's me. I'm Ebony Ali.
I'm an author, speaker and a coach. I've written 3 books. I self-published 3 books. I'm a mental health and well-being advocate because I experienced mental health myself. I had a breakdown when I was 19. So that was really, really traumatic. By God's grace, I'm fully recovered. So yeah, that's something that I really talk about in my first book. Yeah, I have degrees, international relations and journalism, masters in social work. I'm a social worker actually. I practice during the day. I began writing, my writing journey began in 2016. To be fair, I always could write. I was noted as gifted and talented in school, and they were like, oh, Emily's really good at writing. So I always kind of knew that was my strength, and I really just honed in on that. So yeah, I was always writing, but in 2016 I started a blog. So I didn't have the confidence to put my work out there because I was just like, what am I gonna write about? Everyone's writing stuff, what do I have to offer? But I just started a blog, and it was really silly at the time. It was just about like baking and day-to-day life, and you know, but there were like nuggets of wisdom as well. So yeah, that's how I started writing. I published my memoir in 2018, and that's Beauty for Ashes in Exchange for Hope, which is what Richie was talking about earlier. Yeah, so in 2019 I did partner with WH Smith. By God's grace, opportunity came and I was just able to have book signings there. So that was amazing. And then that's when I started speaking, because I was a writer, but I wasn't a speaker. But people started saying, oh, well, we want you to speak at our event. And I was like, okay, God, that's not really me, but if you say so, I'll do it. So that's been a journey of speaking. And I published another book in the pandemic. Yeah, that was called His Masterpiece. And there was a time I was really trying to like understand who I was, my self-worth, really reflecting. And I actually wrote a bit of poetry, and I wasn't really a poet, but then I started to write poetry, and I was like, this is interesting for me. And then, yeah, I was doing like, so I became the head of the Literature Academy at a community group called Sapphire, and that was like, it was kind of like a freelance managerial role. And while I was doing that, they gave me opportunities. So I was like able to deliver workshops for young people about book writing. So I guess this is when this whole course started. But at the time I just thought I was just doing something for the community. But yeah, I guess that's where the seed for this began. And in 2024, I published Dreams Can Come True. Yes, that's my latest book. Yeah, so all my books are on Amazon. Sorry, my heels are like, whew, so high. So you can purchase them on Amazon. Thank you. Next slide, please. Yeah, I have really good reviews. By the grace of God, you know, people like what I write. So yeah, these are just some of them. We can move on from that. Thank you. So yeah, I know a lot of you are here to support your family and your friends, but I thought maybe you might want to know more about the course. So I thought I'd give you some time, or take some time to tell you more about the From Writers to Authors course. So it's an annual 3-month course. We've just finished Cohort 1, and we will be beginning Cohort 2 in September, and that will end in November. So it's bi-weekly, it happens online at 11 a.m. And it's an hour and 30 minutes. And there's one session that's a bit longer, it's 2 hours. Like, if anyone can't make sessions, I'm always gonna send you the recording or the notes. Yeah, so we're just building a community of writers who share our core values, which are kindness, integrity, transparency, authenticity, and humility. Thank you. So this is the course outline. So I start off like with session 1 about putting the manuscript together, thinking about what is your reason for writing a book. Like I get kind of people to kind of organize their time as well, because I think that's a big factor. People feel like they don't have time to write, so I try and tell people like, let's do it together when you're free. Yeah, session 2, we talk about editing and book covers, and session 3 is about self-publishing. Session 4 is about hosting a book launch, and session 5, marketing the book. And then we have the grand finale, which is what's happening today. Thank you. So our core values. So we believe in using our gifts to serve our community, leading with love, kindness and integrity, transparency and authenticity, humility, staying teachable, and being a student of life. I'm really big on that. Having fun, like I try and make it fun. Like, I think I want it to be enjoyable, you know. Sometimes we do things and we're like, oh, this is so boring. But I want like people to enjoy it. So that's a big value. And yeah, we believe in you. We believe that every person has a story to tell. And we believe this is really important, that writers should be able to keep majority of their royalties. So I can explain more about it on the course, but traditionally, if you publish a book, you won't keep most of like the earnings. So this is something that we try to promote self-publishing because you can keep most of the money. It's a lot of work, but it is worthwhile if you put the work in. Thank you. And these are some reasons why you should join the program. So knowledge, so you get to learn from me. I'm an experienced self-published author. You get guided support, accountability. As you can see, all these ladies, they are accountable to one another. Even after the course is done, I'm sure they'll be messaging each other like, how's it going? Yeah, it's really good for that. Community, yeah, I think doing this with each other has been really good for everyone. And I think you get exclusive mentorship. So I'm always sending things to everyone, like, you know, any kind of resources, opportunities, anything I think that's going to help them develop their writing. So the price, yes, it is £500. It is all $700. If you're already on your writing journey and you just want to attend certain sessions, yeah, there is like an option of paying £120 per session or $160. Yes, so like if you prefer to work with me one-to-one, the session is at the same price, $120 or $160. Thank you. Okay, I just thought, yeah, we can play it today, because before we couldn't play it, I tried to do it at the introduction and then we were having technical difficulties, but today we can play it. So this was actually my first ever book signing at W. Smith. It was such an amazing opportunity. My dad came and he was recording me, and my friends came, and it was such a blessing. So I think we're gonna play that now. So I think if you just press play, it should be fine, just like Jacqueline's. While we wait, does anyone have any questions? Comments? Feel free.
Actually, yeah, one question.
Yes.
Do you work with other individuals or other groups such as filmmakers or in the film industry as well, or are you just quite focused on the author side?
Yeah, I am focused on the author side, but I will speak to you about, or I will talk about something later that might be appealing to you.
Okay, thank you.
Are you here for Rachel?
Yeah.
Any other questions? Yes?
Is it just primarily focused on women?
No! It happened to be that women were like, you know, men can join as well. That's a very good question though. Yeah, I just happen to be women. We happen to be women, we happen to be Christian. I don't know. It seems like God was doing something there. Any other questions? We can go back to this. We can come back to this. That's fine. Let's move on. So today, there's a special discount because people are here, and it is £400 or $550. That is if you pay in full today. There's also a chance to win a copy of the Just Right workbook. That workbook, it has like lots of structure in terms of like writing, putting your manuscript together, putting your contents, your chapter headings and things like that. It's quite valuable. Plus an additional session on networking to how to network effectively. I think a lot of people find it difficult to network. So I just wanted to share some tips with you. Yeah, so as I said, sorry, thank you. As I said before, the cohort will begin in September. So we have flexible payment options. So as I said, option 1 is if you pay in full today, it's £400 or $550 for our international audience. Option 2 is if you pay 50% today, it's £225, so it's £450 in total. And then by the end of the month, another £225, or $600 in total. Option 3 is if you pay 50% today, so that's £250 or $350, and 50% by the 31st of August, so that will be £500, which is the full price. As you know, as they've said as well, I'm quite flexible with payments. As long as we have like a plan and schedule. I'm happy to work with you. Can we go to the next one, please? Oh, these are my account details. You can speak to Naomi afterwards as well, and she can share that with you. Yeah, so now I believe I saw Richard. Richard, are you still here? Oh, he is here. Okay, great. So I was at the Black British Book Festival. It was kind of, I think it was last month. Everything's a blur. But I met Richard, and he is from CPI Printers. They do they pretty much, he's going to tell you what he does. But we're planning a trip to the printing company just to see the factory, to see books. It just seems like it'd be a nice fun day out. So we're all going on the 21st of June. But Richard is here today just to talk and answer questions. It was really great to network with him, connect with him, and yeah, I'm sure he's gonna take over now.
To a printer's really fun day out.
It is for writers though, isn't it, right?
Yeah. I'm not big with these things. Thank you for the invite, Ebony.
You're welcome.
Right, I work for CPI Books. We're a book printer based in the UK. We have 6 sites. We print everything from copies of Bible through to mass market trade books you find in Waterstones and other retailers. One of the massive things about CPI is we can help self-published authors get their books into retail and distribution via our link to Gardeners, and you don't have to buy a lot of stock. You can order them single copy at a time. So if you've got your book and you've got a press-ready PDF, you set your account up with CPI, you link it with Gardeners distribution, you organise a contract with them, they will want round about a 50% discount on the cover price. If your book's £10, they're going to want half of that, but out of the £5 left, you pay your print bill, and what you get left is yours. It may only be a couple of pounds a copy, but you're making a sale, and it isn't costing you anything. And that's really about as simple as it can get. Gardeners have got links to around about 1,500 booksellers, bricks and mortar stores, online retailers. They've got a depot in Eastbourne, they've got a hub in Calais and one in Miami. So they've got a global reach. No fees to sign up, doesn't cost anything. I have some samples at the back, so any questions, you can reach out. All right?
Does anyone have any questions now that they want to ask Richard before he walks away? Someone put their hands up.
For Ebony was a question.
Oh, okay. What was your question?
What's Ebony's writing routine like?
What's Ebony's writing routine like? You asked. So writing routine, I really have I always just go somewhere that inspires me. It's been different with every book. When I was writing the first one, I think I was working part-time, so I had a lot of time. It's this South Bank, sit there. I actually wrote on an iPad, no keyboard. Not great for my hands or my wrist, but yeah, I did that then. Secondly, when I was writing the second one, it was actually in the pandemic. So I had loads of time. The third one, I just had to really just like get on it. Weekends. Yeah, it was mainly weekends. Yeah. Is that okay?
It's interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, it just depends. But I think I wrote the first book within, was it 6 months, the first draft. And then my editor was like, nah, this ain't going anywhere. So then I had to redo it, and I think that took me an extra year to kind of make all these changes. Yeah. So yeah, it's been a journey. It's been, well, the more I've written, the better I've become. So my editor, she doesn't really kind of like send back things as much and tell me to make major improvements. That was my first book, so that's been the beauty of it. Yeah, sure.
What inspired you to write each book?
Yeah, so the first one, like I said, it was my testimony. So again, believing in God, God said to me, it's time to tell people your story, which was really like, I almost had a, let's say, full circle moment today, because one of my favorite poems from being a child was Footprints in the Sand. So when Natalie said that, I was like, whoa, that's so deep. Yeah, so yeah, and I write that in that book as well. So yeah, I think that was it. And I really wanted to let people know what happened to me, because I think as much as I had a mental health breakdown, it was very public in the sense that people knew, because at the time, I don't know why in hospitals they let you have access to social media, because you're just going to be writing crazy stuff. And that was what happened, and a lot of people knew. And I think once I healed and I had understood what had happened to me, I could now tell people, okay, this is why this happened, right? So it was to shed light about mental health, help people, and it was amazing. Like, those people came to me saying, oh my gosh, you told my story, this has really inspired me, so I'm really grateful for that. The second one was just like, I guess I was just going through it. I was trying to understand who I was, my identity, my worth, and it just came from within. The third one, again, it's like, sometimes it's like I get inspiration at random moments in life, and I write it down, and then before I know it, that all these things are like, it's a book. So I think with Dreams Can Come True, I actually I've interviewed about, I think, 3 people who had really faced difficulties. So one person had sickle cell, and it took her like 7 years to graduate from uni because she was in and out of hospital admissions. So I wanted to tell her story. I wanted to inspire people who may be going through that. The second person, he started off really rough in life. I think autistic, broken home, but now he's just doing amazing things. Like, he's an entertainer, like he's an artist, he's traveling, he's even in Japan right now. He's doing amazing things. So I went to talk about his story. And the third lady, she's a barrister. Took her again a long time, about maybe 7 years, because she had been caught up with the wrong lifestyle for a period of time, and she actually was imprisoned. Well, not in prison, but on trial. She's got arrested and everything. So, I went to talk about her story as well. So I used my experiences of things that happened to me when I've seen things happen in my life, like certain dreams I had from childhood come true, but I wanted to talk about other people's as well. So yeah, there's a lot of different things that inspired me. And people asking.
When God told you to put your story out there, did you ever face any inner conflict? I don't really want to share my words, or were you open to it fully?
Yeah, of course. Of course, there's always going to be that. Or what will people think? Or people say don't say this, or what happens at home stays at home, blah blah blah. But his voice is more important, and it liberates me. And I think definitely obedience is important, and it definitely liberated me. And I think I wouldn't be who I am today if I didn't do that. I wouldn't be doing this if I didn't do that. So it's like when God tells you to do something, he sees the bigger picture, right? You see, okay, right now things are a bit crazy. If I do this, this might happen, blah blah blah. But he sees 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, and he sees what you're gonna become. So in my becoming, I think I had to take that first step because it takes courage, right? It takes courage to start a business as well. So, you know, you have to have faith that people will even show up or believe in what you're doing. So I had to take those steps of faith first to now have more faith now. So when God says, Ebony, I want you to start a course, I'm like, okay, like you've got me, right? So I think that's been the journey. So we're gonna play this later. Can we go on? Yeah, so this time is a time for celebrations. Yes, so I really just wanted to honor you all today. You guys have done amazing. Thank you for being my first cohort. Thank you for just going with it. You know, because when I started it, I was just like, let's just see. And, you know, it's been a beautiful journey seeing you all grow, hearing your stories and everything. I have got you something. Let me see, could you help me please? Sure. It's over there. So I made you all certificates, and I got you all like a notebook as well. Oh yeah, because I got you all colour pens. I know some people thought I changed the colour scheme. I was like, no, it's a surprise. Be patient. So yeah, so. First up, we have Veronica. Let's give a round of applause for Veronica. Next up we have Richie. Let's give a round of applause for Richard. Next up we have Imani. Let's give it up for Imani. And we have Natalie. Last again but not least, we have Jennifer. Let's give it up for Jennifer. from this course. They'd like to present Ebony with a gift. Let's give it up for Ebony. Let's give it up for Ebony one more time. So thank you everybody for coming here today. Thank you for giving us your time and coming down here on a Saturday. Thank you. But we have just one more thing.
So yeah, I've been thinking about like what we could do next, and I've been thinking about doing like a writers and wellness retreat. But yeah, I wanted it to be open to every type of writer, so not just people that want to write books, people that film writers, screenwriters. It's time away to write. I've always wanted to do a retreat, but sometimes they're like, let's go to Bali, and it's like, how many thousands of pounds? So I'm still looking into pricing so that it can be accessible to all. But this is what we want to do. So next year, May, bank holiday, weekend, 3 nights stay. So I've been researching all-inclusive meals. So it'll be like a vision board session, a suite room, designated writing times, gym, and I'm working with a fitness instructor to do like a fitness group just to get us, energized, writing and wellness, because you have to be in the right mental space and physical health to do anything. So I think it'll be really good. So that is what we're planning for next year. Okay, so my question to you is, what is one thing you're going to take away from today? Anyone? Yeah.
I was going to say just stay motivated, and with the help of God, just keep going through things in life. You might feel demotivated at one aspect of your life, but never give up.
Thank you. Amazing. Thank you. And Mother?
I would say most important to surrender everything to Him, not any worries, any concern, and always start. Just start. Don't wait until the right. There's no such thing as waiting for the perfect moment. Start what you have now and go.
Yes.
Just observing the beautiful system that you all guys together, and you all motivate each other to excel, to
Yeah. Thank you. That's amazing. Anyone else before we wrap things up?
I think what I took away from today is that like your story does matter, and like all 6 of you are like so unique. You have different stories, and it just goes to show that you just go for it, because you don't know like how God will use you to touch someone else's life. So it's really good.
Yeah.
I think the main was just to believe in yourself. Believe in your ability, what you can, how powerful you are. So,
Amazing. Thank you. I love that.
One of the things I've realised that all of you contested here was that they mentioned is to remove the fear. Once you remove the fear, you can do anything in life.
Well, people say feel the fear and do it anyway. One of the things I spoke about was that courage comes, the clarity comes after courage, not before. So you have to take that step first, and then things become clearer, your path becomes clearer, but not before. So until you take that step, you won't know. Yes. Great, everyone's learned something today. Well, give yourselves a clap. Round of applause. I love it. Yes, go ahead. Be true to yourself.
Be true to yourself.
Okay. Love it.
Be honest.
Thank you, man.
Thank Veronica for inviting me. And I'm so inspired by you all, and I'm so proud of you guys. So proud. God bless you all.
Awesome. I'm so glad that you've taken something from today. Amazing. Let's go. Yeah, we've had questions. Final questions. No? wrapping up now. Okay, yeah, so you want to stay connected? This is old, so I don't even use Twitter anymore. I'm on Threads, but I'm on TikTok. It's not really writing content. If you want to follow, LinkedIn, Ebony Ali. Ebony's Words is like mainly where I share like things I'm doing. Yeah, anything to do with writing. Yeah, that I share there. Thank you. Oh, yeah. If you want to subscribe to the newsletter, you can do so. Just keep you posted on what's coming next. Thank you so much for being in the room today. Thank you for coming. Your feedback is always appreciated. It's anonymous, don't worry, so you can be as honest as you want. I love to learn, I love to grow, so please do give me some feedback. Thank you.
So now, thank you guys for coming and giving us your time. Let's give it up for Ebony and the new authors. If you have any questions, Ebony is in the building. And don't forget to utilize the 20% discount on the authors to speaker, from writers to authors. That you can get today. It's only for today, so try and take advantage of that. Also, there's some of Ebony's books at the back right there. And if you want to sign up for the retreat, you can also go to the back table over there. But thank you so much for coming, and please network, speak to each other, get to know one another. And there are some snacks and beverages at the back set up. Thank you very much. Thank you.